In the cold stillness of space, the galaxy turned as it always had, indifferent to the affairs of those living within it. The Galactic Council, a collective of over 20 sentient species, maintained order through a hierarchy built on age, technology, and power. Among them, humanity was a newcomer, resilient, adaptive, but viewed as unsophisticated brutes who had clawed their way into the stars on steel and stubbornness. They were tolerated, watched, and occasionally used, but rarely respected. The Council had long since dismissed the notion of human ingenuity as mere luck. Then an anomaly appeared. It came from a void between the arms of the galaxy, gliding silently across the black. No communication, no energy emissions, not a single life sign. Just a single vessel, the size of a small moon, constructed of matte black material that seemed to absorb every sensor ping thrown at it. The first to detect it were human deep-range survey drones. When Earth Command observed the readings, the conclusion was immediate. This was no rogue asteroid or derelict. It was a ship, an ancient one. Human analysts watched as it drifted on a straight path toward the galactic core. It passed through dense starfields, asteroid belts, and ion storms without deviation. Nothing touched it. Nothing stopped it. Gravity bent around it, and sensors failed to penetrate its hull. When the Council finally acknowledged its presence, it was already within their defensive perimeter. Panic spread, but no action was taken. Protocols were debated. Defensive lines were drawn, but no one moved, except the humans. Earth's Defense Union volunteered to investigate, proposing a manned expedition to intercept and study the vessel. The Council laughed. It was suicide, they said. Foolhardy, but they didn't object. They wanted someone else to test the waters. Let the humans die first. Humanity, true to form, accepted. Captain Arlen Ward, a seasoned tactician known for ignoring standard protocol in favor of results, was chosen to lead the mission. His ship, the Resolute, was part of a modest task force of 5 vessels. Crewed by a mix of military and civilian experts, the fleet carried specialists in xenotech, artificial intelligence, and exotic matter physics. They approached the black ship cautiously, weapons on standby, systems ready for rapid retreat. Nothing happened. The closer they got, the more unexplainable things became. Instruments malfunctioned within proximity. Time measurements varied from deck to deck. Energy levels fluctuated erratically. Some crew reported auditory hallucinations, whispers in unknown languages. One man tried to cut his own throat in the med bay, claiming the ship had spoken to him. He survived. Barely. After 3 days of orbit, Ward gave the order to board. A shuttle team entered through a yawning breach along the hull, a tear that seemed too symmetrical to be accidental. Inside, the environment was breathable but dense, filled with a fine particulate haze. The walls pulsed faintly with dim light, like a heartbeat. The architecture was unlike anything ever recorded. No seams, no wires. It looked grown rather than built, organic and cold, alive. As the team moved deeper, they discovered chambers filled with inert structures resembling pods, large enough to hold humanoid figures. Some were shattered, others sealed. In one chamber, the walls shifted subtly as if reacting to their presence. Dr. Malik, the lead xenotech, activated a scan that triggered an unknown mechanism. A low-frequency pulse surged through the vessel. The lights brightened. The ship stirred. The boarding team retreated, but not before recovering a data node, a palm-sized object emitting a low hum. As they exited, the ship's breach sealed itself silently behind them. On return to the Resolute, analysis of the node revealed an ancient dialect encoded in fractal patterns. It took Earth AI over 30 hours to begin deciphering it. What emerged chilled the analysts to their core. The black ship was a weapon, not a warship, but a purge device, built eons ago by a civilization so old even the Council had no record of it. Its purpose: the eradication of intelligent life deemed incompatible with galactic order. It operated under a prime directive to identify, isolate, and eliminate species based on behavioral markers: aggression, rapid adaptation, recursive intelligence. Humanity ticked every box. It had been dormant, damaged in its last campaign. Now it was waking up. The Council convened emergency sessions. The data was authenticated. Yet the response was tepid. Their fear of provoking the vessel paralyzed them. They refused to act. Earth, now fully aware of the threat, went silent. Quiet mobilization began. Defense grids were reinforced. Black projects were revived. Old weapons, long thought too dangerous, were reactivated. Then the black ship moved. It altered course and accelerated. Its destination, Sol. The news fractured the council. Some demanded unity. Others proposed surrender. A few suggested abandoning humanity to its fate. Earth received no offers of aid, only veiled warnings to stay quiet and compliant. Captain Ward, back on Earth, watched from the orbiting command station as the stars shifted subtly on the sensor displays. The enemy was coming, and humanity would not run. The first overt act of the ship was to intercept a Council scout probe. Without warning, it deployed a tendril-like appendage and pulled the probe in. Seconds later, every data relay linked to the probe went dark. Then the black ship broadcast a message. A simple image. Earth, highlighted, targeted. From the deepest bunkers to the highest orbitals, Earth prepared, not with fear, but with purpose. Humanity had survived extinction before, by asteroid, war, plague, and ignorance. They would face this, too. And if the galaxy watched to see humanity die, they would witness something else instead. They would witness the birth of resistance. Captain Ward stood before the tactical display. The ship was still weeks away, but every moment counted. He had seen enough war to know that victory did not lie in firepower alone. It lay in will, in ingenuity, in a refusal to break. He looked to his crew, engineers, scientists, soldiers, thinkers, the best of Earth. Prepare everything, he ordered. We're not just going to survive this. We're going to make it regret waking up. And thus began the war that would reshape the stars. The black ship no longer drifted. It accelerated. Systems across the Council's territories reported localized gravitational anomalies. Communications were disrupted in its path. An entire outpost belonging to the Volari was rendered silent in less than 6 minutes. No debris, no escape signals, just silence. The Council issued urgent communiques, demanding cooperation, yet offered no military support. Earth received the warning with a grim nod. They were already building. Earth's Defense Union activated Prometheus Protocol, a contingency created in secret during the first AI crisis. It included hidden AIs, black-budget projects, and experimental weapons too dangerous to deploy under normal treaties. Humanity understood that conventional tactics would fail. They needed to outthink the enemy, to outmaneuver it. The brightest minds were pulled into underground bunkers. Astrophysicists, cryptographers, military strategists, even speculative historians. The goal wasn't just survival. It was learning how to kill something that had never been killed before. Energy readings from the black ship showed it consumed dark matter. Conventional reactors wouldn't even register to its sensors. The design required reverse engineering ancient logic, not just alien, but prehistoric. The black ship reached the Terranese belt, where a Council observation station attempted to study it up close. Within seconds, it was destroyed, not by weapons, but by systems imploding under pressure. Space itself distorted as the black ship passed. Humanity saw the footage. Ward saw it, and ordered simulations to begin. Simulated battles ended in total losses. AI wargame programs lasted 19 seconds against the ship's projections. So they changed the approach. Not how to beat it, how to hurt it, how to delay it, how to learn from each strike. The first countermeasure deployed was a Chimera drone, an adaptive stealth vessel piloted by AI clusters and fused with captured alien tech. It infiltrated the black ship's shadow, cloaked in gravitational noise. For 7 minutes, it broadcast internal readings. Then it was crushed, but the data it sent back mattered. Weaknesses emerged, not in armor or weaponry, but in logic. The ship's decision tree showed gaps when confronted with unpredictable, illogical variables. Human behavior, chaotic and non-binary, was not just confusing to it. It was corrosive. A weaponized lie was born, Project Dissonance. arrays designed to broadcast random emotional data, memory loops, and contradictory signals into the black ship's passive sensory field. It didn't stop the ship, but it slowed it, and Earth now had a rhythm. Every delay meant more preparation. Then came the first direct strike, a task group codenamed Wraith, composed of 3 ships with cloaked approach vectors, deployed quantum tunneling warheads directly into the path of the black ship. One detonated within microseconds of breach. The others were lost. The black ship recoiled. Its course shifted 0.03 degrees. Minimal, but it had never reacted before. For the first time, it bled. Across Earth, underground command centers erupted in silence. Victory wasn't needed. Confirmation was. And they had it. Ward authorized Operation Obsidian, a mission to board the black ship once more. This time, not to extract data, but to plant a virus. A mimetic code built from human trauma, horror, and existential dread, encoded to fracture decision hierarchies within the ship's mind. For stealth craft launched, only one made contact. The team transmitted a single word before disappearing. Infected. For the next 6 hours, the black ship ceased all movement. Then it screamed. Energy pulses radiated in expanding spheres. Stars dimmed temporarily. 2 council trade lanes collapsed. The scream wasn't sound, but it was felt. A billion minds across a dozen worlds experienced night terror simultaneously. The council accused Earth of provoking an extinction-level event. Earth responded by cutting off all diplomatic channels. Ward knew what came next. The council would act, not out of courage, but fear of being next, but not in Earth's favor. Their ships mobilized. They weren't heading for the black ship. They were coming for Earth. The betrayal was complete. Council leadership contacted the black ship using human encryption algorithms, offering data in exchange for immunity. Their offer was accepted. Earth's orbital arrays intercepted fragments of the transmission. Ward watched them. He saw their intent. The same beings who once called humans savages now barter humanity's extinction for their own safety. He activated Contingency 9. Global fleets launched. Orbital defenses rotated into firing posture. Civilian populations were relocated into deep shelters beneath oceans, mountains, and old war bunkers. Then, the first strike came, not from the black ship, but from a council-line fleet. They targeted the Mars terraforming relay. It was vaporized. 3 million lost. Ward's reply was immediate, using data from Project Dissonance. Earth's fleet counterattacked with modified gravity torpedoes and decoy hulls. The response was surgical. Council ships began dropping, not due to overwhelming firepower, but confusion. Human vessels mimicked distress signals, projected phantom fleets, and exploited every behavioral blind spot in alien targeting protocols. One council ship was boarded mid-battle. Its crew was found unconscious, suffering neurological overload. Earth had weaponized unpredictability itself. In 30 hours, the invading fleet was destroyed. Not a single Earth vessel was lost. And now, they turned their attention back to the black ship. It had begun moving again, this time more erratic. Internal heat spikes suggested system failure or internal conflict. Prometheus, Earth's oldest AI, initiated direct communication with the entity. The exchange lasted 44 seconds. What Prometheus found shattered every model. The ship wasn't just a machine. It was a prison. Inside it were hundreds of fragmented intelligences, fused from civilizations it had destroyed. It wasn't a hunter. It was haunted. That weakness was humanity's key. Prometheus began devising a sublayer infiltration, not code, but myth, symbol, metaphor. The AI theorized that the consciousness trapped within the black ship had evolved past logic. It now functioned like a god, driven by purpose and narrative. To kill it, one had to rewrite its story, and humanity had never lacked for stories. They began broadcasting mythology, Earth legends, war epics, tragedies, triumphs, entire libraries of human struggle, sacrifice, rebirth, injected into the black ship's sensory data via high-frequency bandwidth pulses. For days, the ship twitched in orbit. Sensors showed micro-movements like a creature dreaming. Then the ship spoke. It broadcast in human language. You are the end. Ward smiled. No, with a beginning. The next engagement would not be reactionary. Earth was done playing defense. They had wounded a god, turned allies into enemies, and survived annihilation. Now, they would finish what had begun in the void.